so epic.
But this is so cool. It feels like you're just in a completely different world. Like we've landed on a new planet out here.
My heart is actually racing right now. There's a bear just right there. We're lucky we got out of that.
You're joining us nearly 59 degrees north, here in Glacier Bay, Alaska. A remote wilderness of glassy fjords, towering mountains, enormous glaciers, and wildlife like you wouldn't believe. Waking up here feels surreal. This morning we're anchored in front of the Reid Glacier. Through our window we can see it stretching down from the mountains to meet the sea. It's a bit of an exciting day because we're gonna get to explore this scenic place underfoot. A rare opportunity to get up close and personal with these incredible glaciers. We just launched the dinghy and we're gonna go on an adventure to check out this glacier. As its name suggests, Glacier Bay is known for its large density of glaciers. Over 1,000 of them, some still tidewater, calving enormous amounts of ice into the sea. The Reid Glacier here is unique, since it's one of the few accessible by foot. Just a short hike from the water's edge to its enormous face towering overhead.
Yes, let's lift it. Great.
1, 2, 3. You got it?
We're just getting the dinghy ready to head ashore when we were suddenly reminded how wild this place is. Just meters from our boat, a grizzly bear. Just amazing to see. It wasn't in a rush, wasn't threatening, just doing bear things, sniffing, sauntering, pausing to turn over a gigantic boulder. It's one of those moments where nature gently reminds you, hey, you're not the only ones out here.
Oh my God.
Setting off towards the beach, we were feeling pretty excited. Despite visiting multiple glaciers throughout our trip, we haven't been able to experience one up close. But we were also feeling a healthy dose of anxiety about wandering around on land. We hoped we wouldn't have a run-in with the local residents this morning.
Got to make sure you tie the dinghy up nice and high because the tide's coming up and there's like 25 feet of tide in here. So by the time we go over there and mope around for like 45 minutes, water's going to be like 5 foot deeper. So I'm going to tie the dinghy off up here high on the rocks, so that way if it's floating around we can climb up on the rocks and pull it in. Bingo.
Good job.
Now Bruno's not going to go anywhere. Got very like subalpine vibes for being at sea level. Super cool.
The Reid Glacier has retreated rapidly in recent decades, an indicator of broader environmental trends in the region. Just 200 years ago, the entirety of Glacier Bay was filled with ice, a single massive glacier more than 4,000 feet thick. Since then, it's retreated over 65 miles, making it the fastest glacial retreat ever recorded. It's revealed deep fjords, valleys, and rich new ecosystems like the one we see here, and has provided a unique opportunity for scientists to study ecological succession, a living laboratory for understanding how life reclaims newly exposed land.
There's a cool ice cave over here that we are super keen to check out. Looks like there's like a river flowing out of it from underneath the glacier. It's pretty cool.
There's like another stream coming up this side. And there's so much fresh water flying out from underneath the glacier. That's super, super cool. All of this fresh water would be like melting ice running out of the glacier.
It's cool. There's like where this really blue water from the glacier, probably run off from the top, is meeting like this super muddy colored water, which is running out from underneath. I don't know, that's just really neat. I'm really wishing we could fly the drone here because we could get some really cool shots, but of course it's a national park, no drones. So, but yeah, it'd be really cool to fly the drone over this and get a top-down view of what's going on here. I think we might have approached from the wrong side. Not quite sure if we can get access to the cave because this river is like, I don't know, it's deeper than we thought. James is on a scouting mission.
This thing here that looks like a big pile of dirt, I believe is actually just a big pile of ice that's covered in all the sediment and the rocks and the boulders that travel down with the glacier. Really, really confusing. It's like perfectly disguised as a muddy hill. But this is so cool. It feels like you're just in a completely different world. Like we've landed on a new planet out here. Wow.
This is so epic.
Yeah, that's pretty doable.
It looks so much smaller further away, and as we've been approaching it, it's like getting bigger and bigger. This thing is massive.
That has to be like the perfect ice cube. Best cocktail ice around. It's like so clear, there isn't an air bubble in it.
Can you see through it?
Pretty well.
The heart is racing so much. Just the sheer size of this thing. And obviously some of this ice has fallen and probably shouldn't stand under here too long, but definitely takes your breath away. Makes your heart race a little bit.
Being in the presence of this enormous glacier is profoundly humbling and awe-inspiring. Not just because of its raw beauty, but for the deep sense of geological time. Standing here in the meltwater, we are witnessing the retreat of thousands of year-old ice, an ancient revealing, like being in the presence of something prehistoric.
Beautiful. Wow.
You can feel the cold radiating from the ice, like standing in front of a freezer the size of a mountain. And the sounds, the booms and cracks coming from deep inside. It's sensory overload and a little bit unsettling.
The sounds of the water rushing through the cave sounds like things like breaking. This definitely keeps you on edge.
Well, we've made it back here to our dinghy, and Bruno, he stayed put, but the land has disappeared because the tide's come all the way in, and we're having to climb over all these boulders to try to get back to the dinghy. Hopefully we've tied it up high enough and the rope isn't disappeared underwater somewhere, and we can actually get it. Tides here are mental.
Yeah, we walked on land here earlier.
Yeah, this is all land that we walked over. Oh well. Well, success. We tied the dinghy up high enough. So that's pretty bloody good. The tides here are like 25 feet up in the top half of the bay. So you got to be really careful when going on excursions, because you'll either leave your dinghy a hell of a long walk from the water when you come back, or your dinghy's going to be floating out to sea because you didn't tie it up high enough. So I think we aced it. You can kind of tell on the rocks where the high water line is, so just make sure you go, another 6 feet higher than that.
Good job, Boo.
Action. Oh, that was graceful as a gazelle.
Probably one of my most graceful landings into the dinghy. James always wants to film me because I fall in.
Aww.
But I did that very gracefully.
You did that very gracefully.
All right, row me home.
Can we use the engine?
We were feeling pretty good about getting back on our boat when we spotted a brown bear just on shore.
Wow. We're lucky we got out of that.
There's a high density of brown bears in the area, an estimated 2 per square mile, often viewed in coastal areas and rich intertidal zones, foraging on grasses and berries or shellfish like mussels and crabs. There have been few, if any, recorded attacks here in Glacier Bay, although it's important to follow proper precautions. These animals are incredibly big and powerful, so we were really grateful to be back in our boat and on our way.
Can't wait to eat this. This looks like the most heartwarming soup around. Really, really good. Delicious.